Let's take a look at creating a MyWorld with ERDAS Titan. A MyWorld is made up of geospatial data, web services, and location-based content that you added to the ERDAS Titan viewer. And then with a click of a button, you share that space with others on the Titan network, either publicly or with permissions privately to other users. So let's take a look. I've got some vector data in the Titan viewer already. This is in Atlanta. This is a project planning area in Atlanta in blue, and then some floodplain data. On the bottom, across the photo ribbon at the bottom of the screen, I've got some screenshots I've already taken in the scene. So this looks familiar right here. And then I've also got some images I added from my hard drive. What's really interesting about the screenshots is not only is it a snapshot of what's in the screen, it also contains information that I added subsequent to taking the shot. So this information that I add gets stored as well. So let's add another layer into the scene. So right now I've got a couple of vectors. I'm going to open up this Add Files dialog. Here's the parks and green space for Atlanta. I'm going to drag and drop it in here. And it came in, but it came in the same color as the floodplain, so it's hard to differentiate. So I can go in and change the viewing properties. And let's go ahead and make this green since it's park, and parks are green. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the polygons as well, and then say OK. And then it goes ahead and fills in those those polygons, and it looks more like parks. So that's adding geospatial data. You can also add imagery as well, and also KML files. Let's take a look now at the screenshot. So I'm going to add a screenshot. I'm going to scroll down here to the Atlanta Hartsfield Airport. Maybe you've been here before. It's a very popular airport. And I'm going to take a screenshot. So here's where I am right now. Looks like Terminal E. I'm going to click the camera button, and here is a screenshot of the scene. Secondarily, I will right-click to edit information and type in here that this is, in fact, the Atlanta airport. And maybe I'll put a little bit more here, Hartsfield. So, again, if I move to the side, or move far away across the world and click this button, it'll take me back there. It's a very important feature that the screenshot has a geospatial reference associated with it. I can also, and I'll come to another area, add something from my hard drive. So I have a picture of a helicopter, very appropriate. I'm going to open that up, and here's the picture of the helicopter, and again, I could do the same thing and edit information. So I have now added both geospatial data to my scene, and I've also added location-based content. With the click of a button at the top right, I can save my world, and I can share this world with others. And prior to this, I had brought some of this data into my Geospatial Instant Messenger, and we discussed and described the Geospatial Instant Messenger in some other videos. But I've also already assigned permissions to this data. What's important to point out is that in my MyWorld, the permissions I'd set previously will hold and be maintained when I share my MyWorld. So I'm going to say OK. And it's important to note that back in the Geospatial Instant Messenger, in a column, it shows me the different data sets that I have shared in my MyWorld. But let's go back to the Titan viewer. And it looks the same. That's because this is my MyWorld. What I've enabled others to do is to switch and come to my world and see the geospatial presentation space I've created. So let's go look at someone else's world. I'm going to click the button at the top right that says Switch Worlds. And let's choose a user. I'll double click on this user, Cape Town's name, and the scene shifts like a picture cube, and suddenly I am in this user's world. This user did the same thing that I did. They added geospatial data, and here are the layers that this user is sharing. One layer is on, one layer is not. I can turn that on. I can also turn it back off. I can turn them both off. I can also add my own local data to this scene. So I'm enabled to use this user's scene as a backdrop to add my own local data. I also noticed that this user has taken screenshots as well. And this user has information that he or she added that is also persisted. And when I've switched to this world, I can see that information as well. Here's another one. So I've been empowered to switch to this user's MyWorld. When I'm done, I'll click this button at the top right, Restore MyWorld, and I'll be taken back to my MyWorld.